everyone. Scott Holmberg here from Pacific Residential Mortgage, and I'm chatting with
STACEY SEBASTIAN over here at eXp Realty and also of Sunny and Bend.
And it is Monday, time for our weekly real estate update for Central Oregon. And it is another gloomy Monday. A little cloudy, little rain, little wind. It's not typical Central Oregon weather, but I noticed on the forecast for Father's Day, it's supposed to be in the 80s.
Yeah. Are you guys planning on camping?
As of right now, yes. We are probably going to be going up to Elk Lake to camp with Megan's dad and Megan's mom. So we'll do some fly fishing up there. So, yeah.
I love Elk Lake. It's so pretty.
Awesome. Yeah.
So what's going on with the mortgage industry, Scott?
So rates are basically kind of flat. I mean, we see our general movement up and down. It's still very range-bound trading. So not much movement. I think if there's anything that we saw with the Fed announcement, they kind of chatted last week. They're kind of hinting that they really don't forecast the unemployment to be super spectacular. So they're forecasting 2 years that it would probably be still at about 6%, which is 3% higher than we were before all of this stuff happened. So they're not very bullish, we'll say, on a really quick, massively fast. So from a mortgage standpoint, that's actually good, because what that tells us is I don't really foresee rates really flying up, because if the unemployment's up, they're going to do everything that they can to try to stimulate the economy. So what does stimulating the economy do? It's not raising rates. It's if anything, they're going to make sure that rates are where they're at or slightly lower. So that's a good thing. So buying power is going to be phenomenal with where rates are right now.
Which is really good, considering right now more and more people are kind of flocking to Central Oregon, and we're seeing a lot of activity. So that's going to help and continue to keep things going along. And I know that I heard recently, just to talk about one positive first, was last Tuesday, they went ahead and opened up the playgrounds. So we were seeing all the yellow tape come off, and people are at the skate parks or at the playgrounds or at the parks. So people are getting out a little bit more. But on the flip side of that, we saw Governor Brown talk about how they're starting to not be able to identify tracing of COVID, and the rise of COVID is starting to happen. So she's starting to slow things down. So by a week is what I heard, but we don't, I guess, know what's going to happen after that. So that's the latest that I've heard. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. And then, so what'd you do this weekend, Scott?
Well, let's see. We are still on our backyard project. Installed some drain lines because we do have a little bit of a sloped back yard. So installed some drain lines and installed a few drains where I figured where the sprinkler water and stuff was kind of cooling out before we put the lawn, so that it drains a little bit better. So that was this weekend. So a little bit of shoveling, a little bit of pickaxing with some rocks. So
well,
yeah.
At least it was nice and cool, right?
It was not 85, because if it would have been 85, I would have been either golfing or fly fishing and not digging trenches and drains.
Right? So, that was one bonus, right?
Yeah, it was.
So there was an article on that opening. If anybody wants to go check it out, I do have it on my website, Sunny and Ben. I'm sorry, my Facebook business page. And then also, we took off. Whoa, I got lost. We took off and went to. It sort of vanished. We took off and went
right?
to. Why don't you tell everybody? Yeah, we went to Prineville and we went rock hounding. Sunny's got this rock hounding book for Oregon that she's been absolutely obsessed over. She gets her rock fetishes from me. I guess when I was a kid, I was obsessed with rocks too. So we went to our first rock hounding just past Prineville, which was super fun. And we found a dig site that somebody had already started. So I'm going to post the video later today in Sunny and Bend if anybody wants to check out where we went rock hounding. So that was a lot of fun.
Nice. So I'll give you a quick interesting fact. That was what my grandfather did for a living.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So he was kind of a rock hounding treasure hunter?
He had a rock shop in Grants Pass.
Oh, cool.
And they did all kinds of stuff. I remember going to Grants Pass and we would see piles of rocks in their property around the rock shop.
That's cool.
So, yeah, so we've got some petrified wood slabs and all kinds of stuff.
That's awesome. We were looking for thunder eggs. I guess is what they're called. Sunny was hoping they had crystals inside of them, but she was a little disappointed at one point. I edited that out of the video, the disappointment. These are just caramel colored on the inside, and they were really pretty. So we collected a bunch, brought them home, and we're gonna put them in our yard. But that's really cool. Very cool.
Yeah. So the thunder eggs were the piles of rocks that were around the rock shop, because they would cut them. So if you looked at it, it looked just like a round rock or whatever. And then you would cut it, and we'd go in the rock shop and he'd cut it, and then you'd open it up, and because you have no idea what's going to be inside. So you'd open it up, and it could be a bunch of crystals and blue and purple or whatever. So
yeah, that's awesome. This one was just caramel. We're gonna go to the crystal spot next time because Sunny really wants to see the crystals. So do I. So that'll be fun. But that was a little bit further drive, so we didn't want to go. This one was about an hour past. From Northeast Bend, where we live, it was an hour drive, so it wasn't too bad.
No,
and
not
it
bad
was
at all.
Beautiful. There's a spot A and a spot B, and it's in my video that you guys can check out if you decide you want to cruise up there.
Sweet.
And then so let's go over stats. So basically, last week we have 67 new listings, which is about par with the week prior when we did our meeting. Last year, this time there was 109 new. So still down on the listings. That seems to be like a universal thing across the states right now. People are down listings. I'm hearing that a lot all over. So it's not necessarily reflective of just Bend. Closed last week were 47, and that's pretty par with the week before. Last year was 77. So a little bit more closed last year. I think we're going to see the closings pick up because of the pendings picking up. Last week we were at 89, and this week we were at 108. So the pendings have picked up quite a bit from when we did it the last 2 weeks ago. But last week it was 108, so that's quite a bit of a pickup. Last year in 2019 it was at 63. So we're seeing the pendings like really ramp up right now, which is really going to show those closings pick up. So we're kind of in need of inventory. So if you know anybody who wants to sell their house, there are a lot of buyers out there right now looking for some properties. Back on the market, we only saw 11, which was par with the week before. And then price changes 38. Again, these factors can be really different. Interesting enough, 151 price changes last year at this time. So that's kind of crazy. So not as many price changes, but of course our inventory is down too. So yeah, so that's what's happening in real estate. And I'm sorry that I kept my face small while I was telling you guys that story. I forgot to hide the screen. Don't forget to go and check out Sunny and Bend Instagram. I know Scott has an Instagram account as well. I had a closing this on Friday, actually, out in Redmond, kind of closer to Terrebonne, 20 acres. It was so beautiful. There was like beautiful Three Sisters mountain views out there. It's just crazy. These guys have so many home sites that they can build on. But
nice.
Yeah. So that's all I got, Scott. Anything else you can think of that's happening here in Bend?
No, I mean, other than activity, we were driving around Saturday, and we are back to like it's full-blown summertime. I mean, there was lines out Home Depot, and we were doing a little bit of furniture shopping and stuff like that, and I was amazed at how busy traffic was. So yeah, it's like we're back to normal.
Yeah, you're right. There was a ton of traffic this past weekend. I forgot to show you guys. I'm going to go ahead and put this list of properties in the link when I do this post so that you guys can see. You can tell these are all the active properties that went on last week, and those yellow ones went pending in the same week last week. So the properties are kind of flying off the market.
Yep. Yeah, I've got multiple offer situations with a couple of my clients right now. So yeah.
Cool. Well, thanks for joining me today, Scott.
Yep. We will see you next week.
Okay. See you then.
Bye.
Bye.